And so in day 1 of lesson 7, we talked about how to solve systems of equations algebraically, or using the substitution method. In day 2 of section 7, we're going to continue that idea, but working specifically with word problems. So we want to interpret solutions instead of just, here's 2 equations, solve. So our first example, Kareem scored a total of 16 points in 2 ball games. In the second game, he scored 3 times as many points as in the first game. Write and solve a system of equations to represent the situation, then interpret the solution, meaning we need to label, not just give numbers. So we are told, let x equal the points in the first game, and let y equal the points in the second game. So we need to write a system of equations using these variables. They're given to you, make sure you use them. So our first situation, our first equation will come from Kareem scored a total of 16 points in 2 ball games. Well, if he scored x points in the first, y points in the second, if I want the total points scored, we would add them. So x plus y scored a total of 16, so x plus y equals 16. Okay, our second equation then, in the second game, he scored 3 times as many points as in the first game. So our second game is our y. He scored 3 times as many as in the first game. So 3 times, that's telling us to multiply, so y equals 3x. There's your 2 equations. Now we want to use our substitution method to solve this. We notice that y is already solved for here, so we can substitute in for that y. So if I'm looking at x plus y equals 16, substitute this in. So x plus 3x equals 16. I'm actually going to box this off. How we simplify down, x plus 3x is 4x equals 16. Divide by 4. So x equals 4. Okay, so there's half of our answer. We now need to go back to these equations in order to solve for y. Remember, we always need 2 parts to our solution. So I know y equals 3x. I now know that x equals 4. Substitute that in. So y equals 3 times 4. We get y equals 12. Just to double check, 12 is 3 times as many as 4, and 4 plus 12 is 16. So there's our answers. We now need to interpret. So our interpretation would be Kareem scored 4 points in the first game and 12 points in the second game. There we go. Okay, one more example. The sum of 2 numbers is 32. The difference between the numbers is 8. Write a system of equations to represent the situation, then solve the system of equations by substitution. Okay, so first off, you're not given variables, so we need to define our variables. So let x be the first number, and let y be the second number, just so that we know what our x and y stand for. Okay, so our first situation here, the sum of 2 numbers is 32. Well, we know that sum means to add, so x plus y equals 32. Our second situation, the difference between the numbers is 8. We should know that difference means subtract. Doesn't matter which way we go. So x minus y equals 8. Right, now we need to solve. So we need to pick x or y in either one of the equations to solve for. Personally, I'm going to decide to pick this one and solve for x. It really doesn't matter, but that's just the one that I'm going with. So if I have x minus y equals 8, in order to solve for my x, I need to add y to both sides. So x equals y plus 8 or 8 plus y, it doesn't matter. Now since I manipulated this equation, I need to substitute into the first one. If I bring him down, x plus y equals 32. I now know that x equals y plus 8. So just do a quick highlight here so you guys see where I'm working. So instead of x, we're going to write y plus 8 plus y equals 32. Oops. Not a plus there. Okay, now we simplify each side. Make sure you're always simplifying each side. Gives you less numbers to work with, less chance of mistakes. So y plus y is 2y plus 8 equals 32. Drop our line down. Subtract 8 from both sides. So 2y equals 32 minus 8 gives us 24. Divide by 2. So y equals 12. Remember, that's only half of our solution. So if we go back to here, since it's already solved for x, so x equals y plus 8. I now know that y is 12. X equals 12 plus 8. So x equals 20. And we just do a double check here. 20 plus 12 is 32. 20 minus 12 is 8, so we know it works in both of the equations. Remember, it always must work in both equations, not just one. So our solution as an ordered pair would be 20, 12. We said x is the first number, so the first number is 20, and the second number is 12. All right, that is the end of this lesson, which is also the end of the chapter.